I'm going over and checking to see.
Live streaming is on.
All right, that came through. By the way, people wondering why I'm doing this extra commentary in the beginning. YouTube has fucked around with its interface again, and it no longer lets independent go live now feature, which is fucking annoying. All right,
You've been demonetized.
well, I did say not safe for kids. I'm pretty sure you can cuss. It's fucking annoying. All right, I hear the loop back. So we are actually going right now. YouTube, why do you have to keep fucking with shit that works? Okay, like the whole Hangout system was just fine, and streaming to YouTube from that was just fine. But no, they have to screw with shit. Anyway, everybody, welcome to Irongeek Cast number 179. Frank to the rescue. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're good. How are you, man?
Okay, I'm on PTO for the rest of the week, and so I'm just gonna be chilling at home.
Ah, all right.
How are you doing, Frank?
I'm doing all right. Just been really busy lately. Got a client. We're have to prepare a report for them in like the next 2 days, and it's kind of difficult to get some of the data out of the seam because some of the reporting features are broken right now due to a Java error on the virtual machine itself that hosts the Alien Vault instance. It's just broken, so you can't run any reporting. So doing everything manually, just copy and paste, pain in the ass.
Yeah.
That, and I'm watching the Black Hat briefings. Those are pretty cool.
Okay, those have been decent, and you got some kind of. Well, we won't go into that, I guess, maybe unless you want to.
Oh, that's fine. I have a way of going to Black Hat without paying, which I think many people do. I'm not going to say my way, but
yeah,
it works.
I'm like crime. I don't pay.
Yeah, so it's all good. And I actually grabbed a copy of the Alien Vault machine, the image, and I cracked it open, and I realized it's running Ubuntu 16.4 under the hood. And I made it so I could log into it, and I'm futzing around with that and bug. Just trying to go through there and see what I can find out. So maybe I can fix that Java error and not have to rely on support that never gets back to you. Fun stuff.
Aleda's asking Frank who?
Frank who?
Well, she's never listened because she always is like asleep or something. She's a little old lady. They sleep a lot.
Gotcha.
Frank, remind me of your Twitter handle.
Busted Sec.
Okay.
At least that's the one I'm using now.
Gotcha.
I'm also Catwatch00, and I got a few others.
And how are you doing, Darren?
Oh, not too bad right now. I'm on call at my job, so that's always fun, and all the shit I have to deal with. So.
Well, that one's not available. So the one that is available around. Okay, this one is available.
What's that? One more time?
Oh wait, I just said add to queue, but it didn't give me an option to say which queue. Fuck.
What's happening now?
Oh, I'm trying to add this particular video into the queue for well, not. Oh, sorry. Add queue. I fucked up. That's not what I want to do either. Save the playlist is what I want to do. Okay. That one is my fuck up. But yeah, YouTube changed its interface. It used to be you could start streaming from Jitsi to YouTube, and you'd see it on YouTube, but no one else would be seeing it. But the person who was in the manager, and then you could say from YouTube, say start streaming. But now, as soon as it starts getting data, YouTube's like, okay, I'll send this to everybody. Which sucks because sometimes Jitsi doesn't work, and you want to know that ahead of time, so you start Jitsi first.
Comprende.
But now you can't do that. I don't know why.
So
we made a scheduled thing where when it says 7 on Google's time, it is time to start. So make sure you're not saying anything stupid at 7. I was watching a Joe Rogan interview, which I'm sure pissed off some people if they listen to the content of it. So I decided to delete that one and restart the stream.
Oh, that's good.
But Darren, you're doing basically okay?
Yeah, I really can't complain too much right now. So
if you were to get, where would you recommend I go find some 357 ammo?
Oh, Gand 357.
Was that?
What kind of
Oh,
357?
sorry, 357 Magnum.
Shit, anywhere you can find it.
I forget that there's 357 Sig.
Well, there's a couple others, but yeah,
Oh, there
that's
is?
kind of
Okay.
why I asked, because that's probably easier to find right now. But pretty much wherever the hell you can find it.
I mean, did 357 Sig even ever take
Oh,
off?
Dr. Yuyo in the
A bit, but it's not like it's never been popular.
Occasionally, people come up with new cartridges, and someone made the point that, generally speaking, maybe this new cartridge is slightly better at one particular use case, but we have so many different choices of cartridges out there already. That one weird one from Fabrique Nationale I was kind of interested in because it stacks real easy. It's lightweight bullet, but super fast. I can't remember the name of it exactly now.
5.7.
Maybe. I know they're using it in pistols.
Well, there is a 5.7 pistol which uses the same round, but it's also in the P90.
Okay. I've been watching someone do a YouTube video on it. It's the bullet is lighter weight than a 9mm, but it's going like twice as fast.
It's probably 5.7 then.
guns and boys and their guns.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you calling a boy?
Not all of us live in New York where you can't have them.
Some people in New York can have them. Downstate, they really crack down on that. You can't even get a pistol permit in like any of the New York City boroughs, but unless you like know somebody really high up, like the mayor. But you can get like rifle permits and shit like that out on Long Island. I can't because I'm nuts, and they don't give guns to nut people. But you know.
What is this permit you speak of?
You need a permit for everything here. You need a permit to go fishing here. In the lake.
That's
and
true
in
in
the
most
ocean.
places, yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Man, I'm asking for local hiking trails, and everybody and their sister is saying go out to Mount St. Francis, which I like, but I mean, I was looking for more variety to places I haven't been before. Mount St. Francis is pretty nice, though. It's a Franciscan monastery. They do like dog training and stuff up there. And there's a lot of Catholic iconography. They have this like Stations of the Cross walk you can do. That's really pretty. I think it's Stations of the Cross. And of course, they have various things built out on the land they got, like weird looking little chapels and such. It's nifty. I'm gonna probably go out there tomorrow. I don't have any place to go for my PTO, so I'm trying to put in 6 miles a day while I'm on PTO.
Yeah, man. 6 miles is a nice goal.
Now, with
And I've been trying to go on steadily increasingly longer bike rides because I don't have any endurance right now. So,
bicycle, I want to
it's
ride.
nice road bike, man. Those things go fast.
Okay.
Nice skinny little tires.
I had something like that when I was a kid. I also had a big an overgrown tricycle when I was a kid, which looks silly, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the show notes in here someplace or another.
All right. So we've got first announcement, as you probably already know, Black Hat Briefings is currently going on until about 3 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard. And a couple of good talks left. They had a really good one on satellite hacking today that I watched. Essentially hacking people's internet who used satellite to get it, like people on yachts and stuff. Guy did a really good job. And some more good talks tomorrow. DEF CON is coming up. Was it this weekend? Next weekend?
It was going to be this weekend as far as the live event, I think. And actually, there's some crazy people.
This weekend.
There's some people who apparently actually are going to Vegas live, not for DEF CON. They made a different name. I can't remember what it was. And they're going to be meeting up at the Electric Park.
I love that DEFCON.ws no longer says DEFCON is canceled. It says it's still going on. And the real DEFCON
Oh,
site
they changed it? Awesome.
is epic.
For those who don't know, DEFCON is canceled has been a running meme for over 20 years, probably. And the webpage would always say it was canceled, but now it's saying it's on when it's sort of canceled. They're doing some kind of virtual event, but virtual events don't really do it for me.
They're not the same.
I want to be able to smell you.
I mean, I love watching videos you recorded over the years, man. I learn a lot.
Yeah, I did record DEFCON. I had this one dumb person online. She was whining about blocking me. And she said, I think he still does the videos for DEFCON. I have never done the videos for DEFCON, you ignorant. Oh, I have so many people say stupid shit like, I can't access his website. He blocked my IP. You know it's on YouTube and archive.org, you dumbass. You're in a technical field. Figure this shit out. And people call that gatekeeping.
If you go to the DEFCON site, they're releasing a bunch of stuff early on their media server. You can go take a look at some talks, some demo labs, and some captured flag stuff if you are so inclined.
I got my sword swallowed on one of the trails. I'm not going to say who said that, but okay. Oh, Art by Alita's joined in, and she's going, zzz. I guess that must be my comment that old people nap a lot. We love you, Alita. Alita. I always mispronounce it because I always read it on Twitter first, and I never realized her first name is pronounced the same way as that one female transformer from the cartoon.
Alita asks, is it legal to shoot someone who tries to hijack your car at a traffic stop? It's a really bad problem here.
I think it
usually.
It depends on where you are, I think.
Yeah, jurisdiction matters, but I mean, it's a felony in most places. In most places, you can do that for felonies, but it's one of those cases of check your local laws.
She lives in Kentucky, and they're liberal in the laws in the classic sense of the word. Liberal.
Yeah, in Kentucky, again, I'm not saying yes. I'm saying very likely is the case that it is legal.
Yeah.
Liberal or like neoliberal?
Yeah, Jack is saying that yes, you can do that, and he lives in Kentucky too.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to drop docs, but you know.
You called him. Oh my God! You doxed him live on the air.
Hey Charles, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
And I want Charles in charge of me.
Yeah. Jared, I've been trying to convince Alita to get. Every time I recommend a pistol, she thinks it sounds too powerful. She wants a 22, and I'm trying to convince her to at least get a 380.
Wait, I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
She's always afraid whatever pistol I recommend is too powerful, and she wants a 22, and I keep recommending at least getting a 380.
For carry, yeah, I would not recommend a 22 for carry. It's too small.
Do you like the LCP too?
They're actually not bad from what I've seen. I've never handled them myself, but I've heard a lot of good reviews about them. So
yeah, I can't find one of my local stores. I can only find the.
Yeah, picked the wrong. You picked the wrong time to.
Yeah,
to
I
buy
can still find Smith & Wesson bodyguards.
Bodyguards aren't bad actually, from what I've heard too.
Guns.
All right, back to the subject matter at hand. What is it?
All right, so the first story we've got tonight, has Canon suffered a ransomware attack? 10 terabytes of data has allegedly been stolen. That's a decent amount, but it's not as much as you'd think when you realize it was an image server that got hacked. So images can be pretty big, especially, you know. So according to Bleeping Computer, they have a partial screenshot of what the ransom note is. And in this ransom note, they say they've got 10 terabytes of data, including private databases, pictures, and other things. The picture is not all that clear if you're looking at it, but it does show that they've got a lot of their data. 24 Canon domains that appear to have been impacted include canonhelp.com, which is now serving an internal error message if you try to connect to it. They're claiming it's widespread IT system issues that are affecting their applications and email. They are not admitting officially to having been the victim of a ransomware breach. But the fact that there's a ransomware note out there that's got pictures of their internal data would suggest otherwise. And that's pretty much that.
Well, what kind of images do they take? Because that can matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really go into details about what kind of images it was. It was on image.canon.com. It's a storage service. So I'd imagine it's people who own Canon stuff who upload their videos to the web. I've never used that particularly. I use DQ, which I got like $50 for as much storage as I want, but the interface sucks. So,
I mean, given the kind of stuff that people take images of, there could probably some pretty sensitive stuff in there.
Yeah, certainly possible.
Must steal your news, you know?
A lot of these companies are always like, we are having system issues. And if they ask, are those system issues ransomware? They're like, we are having system issues. All right. So next we've got Garmin. If you know who Garmin is, I'm pretty sure they make GPS devices and things like that. So they reportedly paid millions of dollars to resolve their recent ransomware attack. They used a third-party broker to negotiate the claim and try and get it down. They paid a multi-million-dollar ransom. They used a company called Areti Incident Response to regain access to their files and systems. They were hacked by the cyber criminal organization known as Evil Corp, which is Russian-based, using the Dridex family of malware. According to the article, they have been able to recover most of their data after this breach. And they're going to be putting some measures into place so that it will not happen again. Well, that's good. You want to make sure it doesn't happen again. If it happens again, you're doing something really bad. Fire your security guy. Hire another one. All right, I'm going to share my screen over here. I don't think I have anything too yucky on here, so I can probably get away with sharing it. If I can find the button to share the screen on the bottom left side. Here it is. Share your screen. Yes. Okay. You guys see the screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Next article, how ransomware threats are evolving and how to spot them.
I see you broadcasting what you're watching. You need to change to whatever tab you have.
How ransomware stop. Are you looking at? Oh, I think it's sharing screen one instead. Let me share screen two. Hold on.
Don't actually your midget porn. Don't accidentally share that.
No, it was my training porn. I was going to share with you guys. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Screen two. Can you guys see it over here?
Nah, same deal. It's still the edge. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
You see the show notes? Okay.
Show notes.
Good. All right. So, a series of new reports explains how ransomware attackers are changing techniques and how organizations can stop stealthy criminals. So, in this article, it goes on to talk about how ransomware operators are adopting new techniques, just like those used by nation-state actors. The attacks tend to be quieter, and they are able to sit on the network for a much longer amount of time before they intend to bring down their victims. Sophos today released a series of reports on the evolution of ransomware and how to extort money from large victims, large enterprise victims, not fat victims. While the range of ransomware is still pretty low level. Their analysis focused on advanced threats like Wasted Locker and Maze. So in the old days, right, everyone was hitting desktops for like $400, and there were some successful groups and some non-successful groups that did that. Now the game is different. They're not just going after one computer and hoping to get $400. They're going after huge multinational corporations, hoping to get millions of dollars by encrypting everything, including the backups. They're clever, they're creative, they have an intimate knowledge of these very minuscule technical details, and they're able to craft bypasses like it is unseen in criminal malware. It's the kind of thing we expect on espionage-style attacks, not criminal attacks. Now, the reason they're talking about this is because many ransomware operators are not. What's up? Go ahead. Speak.
I think that was a feedback echo.
Okay. So, what they're talking about here is there are a lot of ransomware operators out there, and not all of those ransomware operators tend to actually be technical people who understand what they're doing. A lot of them are just regular everyday criminals who don't really have a computer background, who figured out how to use the command and control part of ransomware and maybe have some elementary attacks like scanning the internet for open RDP ports, or then brute forcing them, or sending spam emails everywhere and hoping somebody will click a link that will infect them. There are a lot of script kiddies out there who really don't know what they're doing. But the Sophos article is talking about how some of these mostly Russian groups are a lot more sophisticated, and they're able to adapt to different kinds of things they face on systems and change their tactics so that they can compromise and move laterally throughout networks. It's really kind of an interesting read if you want to go through it. And there's also a couple of things linked in this article that will bring you to some other reports that are written up about specific ransomware attacks and how they were caught. Well, not necessarily how they were caught, but how they were mitigated. And yeah, it's an interesting read. We're not going to read the whole thing, though, because it's really long. Next, we have a pretty good one. Again, talking about Garmin that we saw earlier, as well as the Twitter attack, that teenager. So we all know from last week that kid who hacked Twitter, and it was a big deal. He actually hacked Twitter. He hacked the accounts of a couple of people on Twitter, supposedly using a support tool that's supposed to only be used by staff at Twitter. So when he got access to these accounts, he decided to do a ransomware attack. Not ransomware attack. What am I saying? A Bitcoin scheme, rather. And he was like, hey, send me 5 Bitcoin and, well, send me $5 in Bitcoin and I'll send you 10. I'll double your money. And he did this through the accounts of several famous people, making it look like they were the ones saying this, including Elon Musk. So, bravo. It's kind of a waste of a hack, in my opinion. If you had that kind of access, you could have sold that for millions of dollars alone. But I digress. So this guy, his name is Clark, but he went by Kirk online, which is kind of close to Clark. He used the tool to hijack all these accounts, and Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Barack Obama. If he has access to that wallet, he would have gotten about $100,000 in Bitcoin for the few hours that the attack was active. Like I said, he could have gotten millions for that kind of access. The teenager, in his defense, the attack could have been much worse. Instead of pushing a scam that promised to double your money, they could have wreaked havoc. In 2013, hackers hijacked the Associated Press's Twitter account and tweeted that a fake bomb attack was occurring at the White House, which sent the markets plummeting, only to quickly recover when the all clear was given. With the control of some of the world's most popular Twitter accounts, Clark was able for a few hours to be the most powerful people in the world. If found guilty, he could spend his better years behind bars. And the next article we have is hilarious, and it's about the same guy at his court hearing, where, if I can find the article, because I'm like blind lately. There it is. All right. So at his court hearing, it was interrupted by people Zoom bombing. It was, not an in-person court hearing. It was over Zoom, and he got Zoom bombed, and they were showing porn. And his hearing got interrupted. So that's pretty funny. So his bond is at $725,000 right now. At times, it was difficult to hear the judge because he was constantly interrupted by hackers posing as media, playing rap music, and yelling foul language. The interruptions got so bad that Judge Christopher Nash had to abruptly shut down the Zoom hearing after pornographic images started appearing across the screen.
Yo, is the raw video available anywhere that we know of?
I don't know if this video is going to include that, but I want to play it, and we'll see what it is.
Oh, the folks that have fellow Gister up, put a name in or something, or an avatar. Makes it easy to know who's talking.
Hackers with foul language and rap music.
The court shall consider sources of funds.
I had to blank it out.
This is how the Zoom hearing went for accused Twitter hacker Graham Clark. Judge Christopher Nash having to mute hackers posing as media.
I just had one last point that I was going to make before our interruption.
Throughout the 30-minute hearing, Clark's attorney argued his client's $725,000 bond was excessive and asked the judge to lower it with conditions.
The court can place an ankle monitor on him. We can limit where he goes.
I guess the answer to your question is that is not the video. Although the video apparently is, there's a screenshot of it on Pornhub. So maybe somebody uploaded it there. If you want to go search for it on Pornhub on your own. I don't know what keywords you'd use there. You'd probably end up with some really bad hacker porn. Okay. So he's pled not guilty to 30 criminal charges. He's being charged with communication fraud, fraudulent use of personal information, and he's going back to court on October 7th. Pretty funny. Next, we've got NetWalker ransomware. NetWalker, they made $25 million since March this year. So in, what is that, 4 months maybe? Not even, like March, around 4 months, they made 25 million. That's a nice chunk of change to rake in. So they're now up there with the likes of Maze, Ryuk, Sodinokibi, and McAfee. Says McAfee, rather. McAfee's not one of those groups, although he is kind of a son of a bitch. In offering a sophisticated and professional ransomware as a service platform. Remember when you said earlier, Adrian, that crime doesn't pay? Well, try telling that to these guys, because their emerging ransomware as a service offering called NetWalker has netted them $25 million since March, according to an in-depth investigation by security firm McAfee, not to be confused with Cokehead McAfee. The company's researchers tracked ransom payments to the NetWalker syndicate. The malware was initially known as Mail2 and was initially detected on August of 2019 after a series of Bitcoin wallets used by the cybercrime gang were found. In a detailed analysis, McAfee notes that they have joined the illustrious trio of crews like Sodinokibi, Maze, and Ryuk in terms of sophistication and reach, and have openly been advertising for experienced affiliates. Now, an experienced affiliate, if you don't know, is somebody who knows jack shit about computers but wants to make some money and has no ethics, that focuses on compromising the complete network of organizations. High-profile targets so far have included the University of California, the Australian Transport and Logistics Toll Group, the Illinois Campaign Urbana Public Health District website. So the article goes on and talks about how one company paid them about $1 million, €1 million, and how they're making lots of money doing this, and they're exploiting a bunch of vulnerabilities in RDP endpoints, including CVE 2020-0796, which is an SMB vulnerability, which is not an RDP vulnerability, like I accidentally said, and a bug in Microsoft's COM aggregate marshaller. So they're going and they're using these exploits that anybody can go find on like ExploitDB, and they're incorporating them into their malware, and it's working kind of like a worm, just spreading and finding shit. So good for them, making money, keeping me in business on the other side. Next, we have Summit Medical Associates disclosed they had a ransomware attack, and affiliate information was potentially impacted. That is a different kind of affiliate than the affiliate we were talking about before. So Summit Medical Associates disclosed on August 4th that a ransomware attack earlier this year may have compromised some personal information of patients and affiliates. According to the data breach notification, Summit discovered that it had become unable to access particular data stored on its server. They then launched an investigation and found that it was encrypted with ransomware. And yeah, that's how it goes. Why can't I open this file? Well, that's because it's encrypted. Why is it encrypted? Because your security sucks. And it goes on. Not really much else in the article that's really interesting or different from any other ransomware attack we've seen so far. Another example of a run-of-the-mill ransomware attack that resulted in a big payout. Travel management firm CWT paid $4.5 million in Bitcoin. Now, remember, we were talking about earlier how ransomware first started, they'd go after a desktop and get $400. Now they're getting $4.5 million in Bitcoin by hacking entire companies.
Okay, I guess crime does pay. Come on.
I don't know what you said, but I love you.
Oh, I guess crime does pay. You're right.
There are days I hear these reports and I go, fuck, I wish I didn't have ethics. Because, yeah. It sucks having a sense of morality sometimes. At least it sucks in the wallet.
Okay. Thank you, Alita. We won't go looking for that porn then. Traffic, they paid out the money. Hackers said 30,000 of the company's computers were caught in the attack. That's a lot of computers to get ransomware on. Like, if I were a system administrator and they told me I had to push a program to 30,000 computers, I'd be like, that's going to be a task. Now, getting ransomware on 30,000 computers when you've probably only got an initial foothold on one machine and maybe you were able to find some admin creds, that's impressive. 30,000 computers. It's like in Hackers when Dade Murphy hacked 1,504 systems and crashed them in a single day. But 30,000. The conversation between the hackers and CWT was made public Saturday, providing a rare insight into how to deal with the recovery that the company was trying to get their files back in. And in a conversation, a CWT representative can be seen asking how to recover their files and what steps are necessary for them to resolve the problem. They confirmed in a statement that their systems are now back online and the incident had passed. Now, can you imagine having to run a ransomware recovery decryptor on 30,000 individual computers to get everybody's files back to normal? How would you do that? Could you script it? Be interesting. It had informed 7 U.S. and European law enforcement agencies immediately after they became aware of the incident. So they talked to the police. The police obviously told them don't pay their ransom, and what they do, they paid their ransom if they want their files back, and they obviously didn't have good backups. That's why you should have good backups. Use the 3-2-1 rule.
And for those new, 3-2-1 means 3 backups with more than 2 iterations and at least 1 off-site.
Very good. So next we have hacker leaks passwords for 900 plus enterprise VPN servers. So using these creds, you could VPN into a corporate network. While on the corporate network, assuming that they don't have a separate VLAN for traffic that's just for the VPN, maybe you can hop into some other shit that's on their network. Could be fun. I wouldn't do it, but I mean, I know some people who would. So there's a hacker in a Russian forum, and he published a list of plain text usernames and passwords, along with IP addresses for about 900 Pulse Secure VPN enterprise servers. It's interesting that they were all Pulse Secure VPN servers, which would seem to indicate that maybe there's some kind of undisclosed vulnerability with Pulse Secure that allowed him to gain access to this kind of VPN, rather than, say, using OpenVPN or any of the other options you've got out there. He also leaked the SSH keys for old servers, well, some of the servers, some admin account details, some records of the last logins on the VPNs, and their session cookies, all the fun stuff. So Bank Security is a threat intelligence analyst, and they specialize in financial crime, and they spotted this list online earlier, and they shared it with ZDNet. And they made an observation about the list and its content that the security researchers have noted all the Pulse VPN servers included in the list were running the same firmware version. Interesting. Could it be a vulnerability I smell? So, based on the timestamps, the dates of the scans, and the date the list was compiled, it would seem it was made between June 24th and July 8th. And they've reached out to Pulse Secure VPN, letting them know that they've probably got a vulnerability besides CVE 2019-11510, which was recently made public. This same list was traded on different websites for used by ransomware gangs. And yeah, so that's fun. The publication of this list as a free download is literally a DEFCON 1 danger level for any company that has failed to patch its Pulse Secure VPN over the last year, as some of the ransomware gangs on this forum are very likely to use this list for future attacks.
Well, everybody patches their VPN when something new comes out, right?
Yeah, I mean, like when the ADC thing came out, like maybe a month or two ago, everyone was using that and just popping those. It was, it was the thing to do. You've got a no day, and there's not a no day. You got a 1 day at this point, and there's a bunch of boxes that are vulnerable to it. So you go on Shodan, you find the banner, and you search for it, and export that list into a text file. Maybe make a little loop and bash, run the same thing over and over again. I don't know how it works. Next we have where do we read that? U.S. offers a $10 million reward for hackers meddling in U.S. elections. Look at that. They got the hoodie and everything in the picture. You know they're serious when they portray the hacker wearing a hoodie. And that hoodie doesn't even have a face in there. It's like hanging
Looks
up.
more like a Nazgul.
What?
Looks more like a Nazgul.
Yeah, weird.
You know, in Lord of the Rings, those riders that go out looking for the ring.
Yeah.
I think they also call those the same things they're called ring wraiths. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fans. Sorry, folks. I find Lord of the Rings kind of fucking boring. I read Fellowship of the Ring, and then I was like, okay, I'll just watch the movies.
The movies are okay.
The movies, I think they did a decent job. Peter Jackson, though, I like some of his earlier stuff better. Like, there was one that had multiple names called Dead Alive, which is a fucked up New Zealand zombie film. And
I saw Dead Alive. That was absolutely brilliant.
that was a lot of fun. He also did Frighteners, which was a lot of fun. I like some of his. I don't sound like a hipster. I like some of his other stuff. He also did one really fucked up one, which was essentially before Avenue Q was even a thing. He did this perverted Muppets movie. Like, it was a Muppets kind of movie with a ton of the sexual depravity and such in it.
Well, that's certainly interesting.
Oh, there's also one he did about aliens invading, or something called Bad Taste. And depending on which cover you find for the VHS, I'm sure it's on DVD by now. You know, this alien's either giving you the finger or giving you the reverse peace sign, which basically is the British version of "fuck off."
So, the U.S. Department of State announced today a reward of up to $10 million for any information leading to the identification of a person who works for a foreign government for the purpose of interfering with a U.S. election through illegal cyber activities. Now, I just come up with a scheme. Who doesn't mind going to jail for a year or two and then getting out and having a few $1 million? I'll just turn you in. You know. All right. So this includes attacking U.S. election officials, U.S. election infrastructure, voting machines, but also candidates and their staff. The announcement was made today, less than 100 days until the 2020 U.S. president election that will have, and you know who's running in the election. Come on. So, getting through the fluff in this article, it says the reward will be paid out through the State Department's Rewards for Justice program, and it only applies to information provided about the activities of hackers associated with foreign governments that try to meddle in the U.S. election, not just any hackers. So, can't be me turning in Adrian unless he's working for the Russians.
Nah, afraid not doing that.
Yeah.
I am not colluding.
Are you colluding with Russia?
There's no evidence that I'm colluding.
So they want people who are like colluding with the North Korean government hackers. And
Actually, now that I think about it, I am arguing with one hot Russian chick on Facebook right now.
nice.
Continue. I don't know if that's colluding, though.
So this and at Black Hat today, there was a dude who worked at one of the government agencies. I forget which one, and he was talking about election security. It was like the keynote, and it's a big deal. You know, it's a thing you need to look out for, but at the same time, I mean, it's a scary thing because we had that girl who was like, I think 8 or no, she's older than 8. She's like 13. She hacked one of the election machines using SQL injection and gave a talk about it at we got like that was weird. Got some feedback. So we've got also all sorts of just crazy shit when it comes to election technology. Like, I used to work for a local government and a county government, and I was an IT guy, and the BOE, Board of Elections, had their own separate little network. It was on our network, and it was on a VLAN that could talk to our VLANs, but we were constantly in our elementary SIEM. It wasn't really a SIEM, but IDS system. We were getting alerts from their network for all sorts of malware because they were running Windows XP when everybody else was running Windows 8 or Windows 7, and they refused to upgrade. And it was a shit show over there, man. And if those are like, they would tally up votes in Microsoft Excel. So if those are the people who are in charge of making sure your vote gets counted, I would. And if that's like any indication of everywhere else in the country, it's scary. So that's just my two thoughts. 2 thoughts? 2 cents? I don't know. Mixed metaphors. That's my mixed metaphors. Now,
The entire argument is, there's this huge threat and there's this huge vulnerability because we're really shitty at doing our jobs. Then who's to blame? The cocksuckers that are asking for votes.
well, yeah. I mean, like, so in the department that I worked at, we actually had 2 heads of the Board of Elections IT staff. There was a Republican head of IT and there was a Democrat head of IT. And they were at war with each other. And if one got a video card in one of their machines so they could run some software, the other one needed to have a video card in one of their machines so they could run the same software. It was like a battleground between the 2 of them. And each one of them, it's like a Mexican standoff, like who's going to upgrade to Windows 7 first. And neither of them would pull the trigger. So they just stuck on XP forever.
So you're saying it's not the Russians, it's the Mexicans?
Yeah, it's the Mexicans' fault, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of overvoting. We all know that, though.
So if you don't already know, Windows 7 is end of life. Windows 7, you shouldn't be using that anymore. It's not Windows XP. If you're running XP, you're really not supposed to be running that anymore. But if you're running Windows 7 at this point, it's probably a good time to upgrade to Windows 10 if your machine can handle it. And if it can't, you should probably get a new machine. Or switch to Linux. That's cool too. Because there are no more updates. And like there are some hacks you can do in the registry so that you make it think that it's Windows 7 embedded when it hits the update server. And then it pulls down all the updates that have been applied and applies them, even though it's not technically the same architecture. It still tricks it and you're able to get updates. But at this point, even if you're paying for the long-term support, you should seriously be thinking about upgrading. Even the FBI put out this notification sent to their private industry notification system on Monday, letting the private sector know about the dangers of continuing to use Windows 7 after its end of life. Cyber criminals are targeting it. It doesn't have patches. It's got tons of vulnerabilities that you just can't fix anymore. It's time to get rid of Windows 7. Unless you're running Cuckoo Sandbox, which for some reason still can't properly run Windows 10 or Windows 8. So the article goes on and on. There are vulnerabilities in Windows 7. You could hit Windows 7 with Eternal Blue or WannaCry. Yeah. Just don't run Windows 7 anymore if you can manage not to do that. We're almost done with show notes. Next we have Dutch hackers find a way to mess with traffic lights. I love stuff like this. So by reverse engineering apps intended for cyclists, security researchers found they could cause delays in at least 10 cities from anywhere in the world.
Now, has there been some hacking of traffic signals before with I don't know what exactly they use for signaling, but I've heard it was something
Infrared light.
simplistic like infrared.
Yeah, infrared LED lights blinking at a certain pattern, certain frequency. Not really frequency, because that's the wrong word for lights, but it emits them to go on and off at a certain pattern. And then the traffic light sees that. It's got a sensor there, and then it switches from...
So in theory, if you got a decent IR sensor and you saw one of these ambulances going by, you could capture that signal. Assuming
Or
it's
just doing Googling, because some researchers already reverse engineered it and did a talk about it.
It's government, so it's all out there because they have like for example, like the FEOK1 fire key is well known what the bidding is because it has to be out there for people to bid on it for government to bid on them. Yeah, but so it's the same thing too, and you can actually buy them. I mean, it's illegal as fuck. You get caught with one, it's usually a felony. But
yeah, maybe I don't have one then.
No, I mean the light changer.
Oh, the light change. Okay.
Yeah, not the key is fine. Yeah,
I have a set of fireman keys of various sorts, and
This is how you do it.
But those light changers, I mean, yeah, they are very much illegal to own unless you are, government. But yeah, it's well known. They're out there. You can buy them. I mean, if you know where to look. It's like buying a cell phone jammer. If you know where to look, you can find them.
Yeah, you can download the PCB for the circuit board to build one of these right from this site here. It shows you the LEDs. It puts a whole bunch of them together, probably in series, so just flash on and off as if they were one big light.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Again, we are not telling you to do this. It's out there like a lot of information. Be aware that it is usually very much illegal, and you are an adult and you are responsible for your own actions.
The members of Irongeek Cast in no way endorse this particular activity.
Except Frank. Go do it! Do it! It'll be fun!
Beep, beep, beep.
Nice to know you, Frank.
Bye, Frank.
So they're going to talk about this modern day equivalent of what we were talking about there, where they reversed the APIs in an Android app and found they could fuck with traffic lights. So it's a misdemeanor now for unauthorized users to wield a traffic signal preemption transmitter, which is a special remote control used by police, firemen, ambulance drivers to change lights to green as they approach an intersection. Now, lawmakers took interest in devices called mobile infrared transmitters, or MIRTs, a couple of years ago, when it emerged that impatient commuters could purchase rogue boxes for about $500. That's a lot of money for some LEDs that blink on a specific order. Several states outlawed an unauthorized possession of these transmitters, and yada, yada, yada. And it goes on about that. So where does it talk about the thing with the Android app? Because that's what I want to read. So I don't know why I was thinking there's something with an Android app. Maybe I'm thinking of a different article. But this is pretty much talking about the same thing we were talking about. So there you have it. Unless I'm looking at the wrong article. Nope, that's the one that I put in the show notes, I think. Unless I'm messing up again. Losing my mind. Dutch hackers hack with the traffic lights. Okay. So at DEF CON Hacker Conference Thursday, Dutch researchers Rick van Doon and Wesley Nealon are presenting their findings about vulnerabilities in intelligent transport systems that would allow them to influence traffic lights in at least 10 cities in the Netherlands over the internet. This hack would spoof non-existent bicycles approaching an intersection, tricking the traffic system into giving the bicycles a green light and showing a red light to any other traffic. They're warning that their simple technique, which hasn't yet been fixed in all cases where they tested it, could potentially be used to annoy drivers left waiting in an empty intersection, or if the intelligent systems are implemented at a larger scale, it could potentially cause widespread traffic jams. I wonder how this works. So, okay. We were just surprised that users' input is getting allowed into systems that control our traffic lights, said Nealon, who's one of the researchers. I thought somehow I'd be able to fake this. I was really curious about how they were preventing this. As it turned out, some of the apps weren't preventing it at all. Nealon and Dujan found they could reverse engineer one of the Android apps. They declined to tell Wire which app they tested, since problems they found are not yet fixed, and they generated their so-called cooperative awareness messages, or CAM inputs. This spoofed CAM data, sent using a Python script on the hacker's laptop, tells traffic lights that a smartphone carrying cyclist with GPS data is where essentially they're sending a fake signal saying it's there's a bike guy coming to the traffic light, And I guess they have an Android app if you are a bicyclist in these countries where you keep it in your pocket, and as you approach the light, it grabs your GPS coordinates. Maybe it constantly grabs them, and when you approach the section, you know what I'm talking about here. I don't have to explain this. You can figure it out. You're not an idiot. Initially, the app, whose cam inputs they needed spoofed, only worked to influence a couple of traffic lights in the Dutch city of Tilburg. As the video shows, the pair demonstrate that changing the light from green to red is fairly easy, albeit with a delay in the first demo, because the non-existent bicyclists do not always get priority in their smartphone optimized traffic system. That's kind of neat. Like, I'm going to become a bicycle while I'm in my car and just use the app. It would probably work. Let's get all the green lights. All right. I found that interesting. I'm telling watch that DEF CON talk when I get a chance.
Talking of infrastructure is always interesting.
I'm just confused. They said that they gave a DEF CON talk, but DEF CON talks haven't come out yet. So it's like,
well, didn't one of you say they did some pre-recording of stuff?
Yeah, that's what I said. But I mean, like the live ones where you can ask questions after and shit.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip most all that stuff. Actually, what is the online attendance fee?
Don't know. I really just don't know. I've been trying to figure it out on the website and can't find anything about it.
I'll most likely be out hiking, but you know.
Yeah, you have a smartphone, man. Just plug in your headphones and listen to it.
I guess I could do that. I think I get access. Well, it depends on which park I'm at. Some of these parks don't have good support.
Well, you're definitely going to want to hear all the talks coming out of the BCOS village.
Are y'all streaming all those?
Absolutely, yeah. We're streaming them all through Discord, and I just wanted to plug it. As a matter of fact, I was going to ask you if I could drop the link to the Discord group in the YouTube chat.
Have at it. Actually, if you want to, throw it in the show notes. Or if you don't know how to get to the show notes, throw it to me, and I'll link it.
So next, we have hacker gives away 386 million stolen records on the dark web. I've made enough money now, said the Shiny Hunters guy. This already happened, and I think we covered this a few weeks ago, so I'm just going to skip over this one. It's kind of a repeat. And last but not least, we have the No. You want to say Grand Crab because it sounds like a thing, but it's actually Gand Crab. Ransomware hacker has been arrested in Belarus. And so law enforcement in Belarus has announced the arrest of 31-year-old hacker who has alleged to have extorted more than 100. No, well, 1,000 is more than 100, but more than 1,000 victims with the infamous Gand Crab ransomware. He apparently demanded payments ranging from $400 to $15,000. Unlike most targeted attacks where crooks break into the network first and then directly affect them with ransomware, he is said to have gone after victims in the more traditional route of spamming out booby-trapped emails. They claim that computers that the suspect managed to infect in more than 100 different countries, including India, the US, UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Russia. The authorities have painted a picture of the subject as what you might call a career cyber criminal. And he didn't have a regular job, but instead he used his ransomware to conduct attacks, created and sold malware for people on underground forums, and made money out of illicit crypto mining. So this dude just didn't have any real world stuff that he did. It was all ransomware related, online wannabe hacker. I don't know. Can you call ransomware service hacking? I don't know. Maybe you can. Anyway, so he was arrested in Belarus, and assuming he did commit this crime, it could be bad for him. They are not saying whether or not they think he is the creator of the Grand Crab malware or if he's somebody who just used it. They are saying that he did process payments from victims whose files were scrambled by it. And when doing the whole ransomware as a service thing, he took a 30% cut to, well, the other crooks, they would, essentially he gave the bad guys the software, they used the software, and then if they made some money, he got 30% of it. Good for him. It's like a pyramid scheme with ransomware. So, back in 2017, we went on the web and signed up for a ransomware as a service cloud system called Satan and wrote a report on it. To see how ransomware as a service works, click this link here. Not going to do that. I thought that was part of the article, which is why I read it, but it was just a stupidly placed ad that looked like it was part of the article. Shame on you. And that's all I got. I'm done.
Oh, by the way, BCO Village. What's BCO stand for?
A BCOS, blockchain open security.
Nobody else wants to talk?
Wait, can you not hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just typing it in the notes.
I'm just not hearing anybody else. What's going on here?
Frank, can you hear us?
Now I can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just updating the show notes with that particular link. The Nathan.
Frank, can you hear Adrian talk or just me?
I can hear both of you now, but
Okay.
for a little while I couldn't hear anybody, and I was like, "What the hell's going on?"
All right.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
I need to get back into some projects electronics. I have some time now. I just don't have the inclination. Had some lock sport stuff I want to do, but I've come to the conclusion a lot of people in the lock sport community are assholes.
No, you don't say.
What makes you say that?
I'm talking off air, but I had a lock picking tutorial up, and egads, people on the comments are just fucking assholes. Someone's giving you some free information. It may not be perfect. I may have fucked up picking some locks, but you can just roll with it. And someone's talking about you're not taking constructive criticism. This isn't constructive criticism.
People will always continue to criticize as long as there are things to criticize. You know how that goes.
I'm currently just killing time while I'm on vacation. Oh, I'm not doing much of anything. I'm thinking about going to visit a friend in another city, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that or not.
Philadelphia.
I've been there a couple times. It's not a bad town. At least the parts I've been in seemed okay.
Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, the one time we were hanging out at B-Sides Philly, that 13-year-old girl that did the voting machine hacking, she was there all day with her dad. I think her name's Bia, or maybe.
Yeah.
But she was hanging out with one of the ISE analysts, Rikram Gotti, and she was just learning so much. She was having so much fun with her all day teaching her.
Yeah, smart kid, man.
Oh yeah. Apparently that it's like her and her dad are like hacking together, and like that's their like common ground, like daddy daughter thing, which is amazing.
Yeah, man. I don't think I will ever reproduce, but if I do, I'd like my kid to become a hacker.
You will reproduce one day. I think you will.
Okay.
So, Charles, when do you have a second kid on the way?
No.
When's the time?
Yeah, one's enough.
Isn't replacement theory like 2.3 to make sure, you know?
Yeah, just one for now. We'll see what happens. Never know in the future, but yeah, just my little baby girl for now.
Someone's got to be able to pay my Social Security. Some of y'all need to have some more.
Yeah, come on, Charles. You got to have some more because, I'm not having one.
I use my personality as birth
Hey,
control.
you guys can always adopt. There are plenty of kids out there looking for awesome homes.
Yeah, I don't have a wife, though. Unless I have a wife, I don't think adoption, I think ideally it's best to have a mother and a father raise a kid.
Yeah, but you can be mom and dad at the same time.
Just because I have breasts doesn't make me
Oh my God, Adrian,
I'm working on that. I am down over quarantine, strangely enough. Upper body mass has probably gone down too, though, unfortunately. But
it happens. Ow, ow.
Thanks for adding all that to the show notes, Frank. So we had a little bit of something to discuss.
No problem.
But I'm
doesn't Frank save the show every week?
Yeah. Well, as of recently, yeah. Used to be like Capricorn Israel throwing stuff in.
Yeah, it used to be Israel put much in there, but we haven't heard of them for like what 2 or 3 months now, at least.
Well, yeah, I think Capricorn got busy with other things and work and such, and Israel, well, he has 2 kids now, so that probably digs into some time.
Oh my goodness, I was just in thinking mode today. What is the future of the hacker community in all its glory?
And hack everything.
So
I told you guys I cracked open the Alien Vault USM appliance and found out it's running on top of Ubuntu 16.04, and it uses Puppet to control the updates for app stuff. And looking through it,
interesting.
Gotta be some interesting shit in there that they don't want you to see. Like, even I was thinking the key that you have to use if you want to get the ET Pro updates, that's got to be in there somewhere. I could pull that down and then pop it in my security on your instance.
That's so weird. Why the hell would you use Puppet that way?
If you go into the etc apt etc/app/ whatever it is file sources.list, it says all updates for this machine are managed by Puppet.
Oh no, I'm not doubting that. I'm just pointing out why. That's such a dumb thing to do.
Well, I mean, I guess they can't use the live update functionality built into Ubuntu if they're not going to be the main users of the system. Like, you have to link your email to it. So,
that's such a dumb thing to do too. I don't know why Ubuntu decided to do that, but Ubuntu does a lot of things that are kind of not good practice.
I mean, you can pull down the automatic dash updates package. Doesn't require an email or anything, but if you use that, it's been known to reboot your system.
Yeah, that's why it's a bad idea.
And if it's a production server, you don't want that shit rebooting.
Right, that's why it's a bad idea. I've always maintained that Ubuntu is never going to work in a actual business environment. It does too many things that are just like, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, you can turn off your screen sharing if you want.
I didn't even realize that shit was still on. They should give me a fucking little reminder. What if I went to go watch porn? My God, that would be embarrassing. Where the fuck? How do I turn this shit off?
Towards the bottom left-hand corner, I think.
Yeah. No, that's Nathan. There it is. There it is. No. Oh, I don't want to share my screen anymore.
Oh, Alita keeps trying to convince me I need an emotional support animal. I just don't want the extra responsibility. Normally, I would say also I travel some, but I travel a lot less with the new job or newish job. Actually, can you really call it a new job if you've been there for over a year or about a year?
That's about the point where it stops becoming a new job, so you probably could call it that still for a little bit longer.
I just got a phone with a dual screen, and it's an insane force multiplier when it comes to productivity, but I can't screw with the camera properly because I have the...
Yeah, I'm looking to get a new phone here in the next couple of months, but I got a Pixel 3 XL right now, but the battery's expanding, and the battery expanding causes the case to be fucked up, which means some of the buttons don't work right. But the Pixel, 5 XL, I think is coming out in October, and that's the one I'm waiting on because it has all sorts of new camera features, like 3 different lenses on the backside for normal, wide angle, and one supposedly has an actual zoom on it.
Yeah, I'm not much of like a picture or camera guy, which is a shame. I have a daughter, but no, the dual screen thing is just incredible. It's so incredible because you could just have a browser open in one window, and any messaging app that you open, there's a button that just sends the screenshot and doesn't save a picture. It just fires it right through. It's brilliant.
Question: are you using that phone right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, can you show it to us? But you have to have a mirror nearby.
I'll go to a mirror.
All right, I'm curious. What model you got?
Jeez, man, you were. It's the fucking LG V60. I just got it like a couple days ago, so I'm not that accustomed to it yet.
Yeah, let's not. My current phone is slowly fucking up. Someone was saying this is kind of a fire hazard, the fact that the battery's expanding like it is. But I'll risk it. What's the worst case scenario? It catches on fire on my bedside. At least it'll wake me up, right?
Yeah. Can you see in the mirror the dual screen there? Hold on.
Oh yeah.
I gotta wake it up.
So it's like clamshell left and right.
Yeah, like I'll show you in a second. But so I have like an app that just automatically opens. It's just like a bunch of crypto prices. So I can toss that over there, and then now my image is over on this screen. I can open a browser and then copy that link and just send it. Like, done.
Is it called the LG Velvet?
No, V60. The Velvet's kind of like a mid-range phone, but I think they're going to be doing this with all their phones. Hold on, I gotta do something real quick to show you what I've got going on.
Thank you. Very cute.
Yeah, they have horrible names and everything. All right, give me a second here.
Shit's got 8K video. Who fucking needs 8K video? Even 4K video. I mean, this thing it's gonna fill up the whole memory card in like 10 minutes with 8K video.
Well, it's cool because it has expandable memory. But so here, I'll show you this thing. All it is
SD slot.
Yeah, so it's just a screen. That's all it is an extra screen. And then you have that little USB-C chip. One of the problems is that when you have this on, you have to use a magnetic proprietary charger, which is kind of weak. But I only have the clamshell thing on. I have it on all the time unless I'm in my car. And then when I'm in my car, I just use like a regular car charger.
I'm trying to figure out how it folds.
How it what?
How it folds.
It's got a hinge.
Yeah,
I got that. But when you have it folded up in clamshell mode, what do you see on the front of it? Looks like you see.
There's a small screen up top that I can't show you because it's off. There's a small screen up there for just notification displays.
Okay.
And then you still have the buttons out here that just click through to the phone itself. So if you get a phone call, you don't have to open it. You just click the button and be like, "Hey, what do you want?" And you're on.
So pretty cool. But I'm used to doing the whole cell phone plus wallet thing. So like in one package. So that would not necessarily work for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar to that. There isn't much out for it yet because they just started launching these things, but they're going to be making these screens for all their phones. And like I said, like I have to do a lot of because I'm not Mr. Hacker Man. I'm fucking event organizer guy. So the amount of emailing and shit I have to do is absurd. Just nonstop messaging all day long. So it's just really, really convenient. Can you guys hear me?
Cigarettes are bad for you.
I know. I start smoking around dark. I vape all day, and then I smoke in the evenings because you can't vape with whiskey.
You can't?
I can't.
Okay. Yeah, I have acid reflux problems, so I've been on a serious chill pill on all alcohol for the last few weeks.
That's great to hear, man. I'm really, really responsible with it. There's a bar about a mile from here, and I walk there, and then I drink 2, maybe 3 whiskeys, and then I walk home, wake up, no hangover or anything. All it does is kind of like calm me down. I reflect on the day, come back, chill out. And then in the morning, when I'm drinking coffee, I go through Twitter, and I see Charles's fucking videos, and they're all exciting, but I can't hear the audio, and he's going nuts, and it's great. And then I'm scrambling like crazy to get to the fucking audio, and then the video's over. And that happens to me every morning, but thank you, Charles, for waking me up every day.
Wake me up inside.
Oh, he's split. He's off. Did he get off?
Yeah, he kind of hops on, hops off. He has what is the hacker podcast he's on? Or hacker
Okay.
Street? Was it Grumpy Hackers or?
I don't know. I don't listen to any hacker podcasts.
I used to listen to a bunch, but not so much anymore.
I only listen to Darknet Diaries because Jack Resider is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him much, although we did have a little bit of discussion back and forth because I made some stickers that said "Be Toxic," and he didn't quite get what I was getting at with the stickers. But
Yeah, man. I was hoping, Frank, I was hoping you were going to want to submit to the village about doing a ransomware talk.
Nah.
Yeah. And then I have the other problems with those panels, but I'm not going to talk about that now.
I don't even know what the hell I would talk about with ransomware. Like I read the articles and I summarize them, but like I'm not like a ransomware expert or anything.
Yeah, the thing is when you submit yourself to that much stuff on a weekly basis, which you clearly do, that you end up like not even cognizantly doing it, but you end up just talking about these trends that exist in everything that you read all the time. Or I know that's how it works with me.
What village are you talking about? DEF CON or something?
Yeah, the BCOS village, blockchain open security.
Oh. Yeah, it's a little late to do that now. I don't think they're still accepting talks.
No. They closed the CFP on the 25th, which I thought was really late. I could tell you, man, because I've been organizing. I think this is my 7th year organizing at DEF CON or in a village at DEF CON. And just because I guess people don't have to get hotels and people don't have to get flights, they're not thinking ahead of time. And everything's always last minute, but everything is extraordinarily last minute this year.
You ever run into Nina from the biohacking village?
Yeah, when I was working with the IoT village, we did a little like cross promoting stuff with them, just because insulin pumps and stuff.
Cool. I used to hang out with her in New York before she moved. She's a cool chick.
Yeah, a lot of the DEF CON people I know, I like see for that week, and that's it. And then it's just so overwhelming with the parties and the dinners, and you just I'm not good like that.
Oh, I know what you mean, man. I actually had a nervous breakdown at DEF CON one year. I just lost my shit and I ended up in a psych hospital in Vegas.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't sleep for like 3 days, and I just went manic.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it's a really, really rough time. I did jeez. Well, I told you guys that story about how I got thrown in jail out there for no reason at all. That was in June. I went out to do a rally before DEF CON, and within 3 hours of getting off the plane, I got thrown in jail.
Luckily, I've never been to jail in Vegas. Then again, I also haven't been to Vegas in 2 years. I went for like 9 years straight, and then various things happened. I haven't been back since. I enjoyed Vegas for about a week's time, but after a certain point, nah. Though I hear it's a lot different if you don't like. That's like most of that time on the strip. My understanding, if you're someone who lives out there, if you can deal with the climate and so forth, the heat, it's not too bad of a place to live.
Yeah. Hey, if you decide to go again, we can always be roomies.
All right, good. We'll see what happens with DEF CON next year then.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be back.
So I'm looking at that phone you got. I can buy it unlocked on Amazon for like $700, or I can get it for like $500 if I sign a shitty contract with AT&T.
Yeah, I looked at Sprint's price; it was about like 800 something.
I actually just got rid of AT&T. I'd been trying to get rid of them for months, and then the end of the month would come, and I forgot because like I paid out my contract, and I was just doing month to month after that, and every single month they would reset my password to log into my account to pay the bill, and every month I'd have to reset it, and then I'd be locked out of my account for a day. So pretty much like the 5th day of every month when my bill was due, I was locked out of my account for a day. And then I was mad, and I was like, I'm fucking leaving AT&T. And then I wouldn't leave, and then it would happen again. And this went on for a very long time, way longer than it should have. And I finally just got the hell out of there.
Yeah, I had T-Mobile for a while, and I got sick of some of their bullshit, and I decided to switch over to Metro. And then Metro got bought by T-Mobile, and I was like, fuck my life.
Dude, well, they just bought Sprint now. That was one of the reasons that I chose them, was because it's like, okay, well, if they're just going to keep usurping networks, they're only going to come, a better network and a better network and a better network.
Well, that's why I moved to Google Fi, which uses Sprint, AT&T, and UScellular as backers because they're just an MVNO. So.
Now, I had Google Fi, but I didn't like their pricing model at the time. They switched it up since then.
It's I think it's either 20 or 15 for the first phone, and then 15 for each one after that, and then they charge $10 per gigabyte of data you use, and there is a cap of which they don't charge anymore. But depending on how
they slow down your data if you go way above that.
If you go like 10 over your cap, yeah, they slow it down. But you can tell them to like, hey, I will pay for every gigabyte after that, and then they'll remove that, but it's expensive. But I don't use that much data. So.
They have an unlimited data plan now, but it's like $80 a month. Yeah,
which again I don't use that much. I'm careful about how much I use when I'm away from the home. So it's like I spend $70-$80 a month even when I was commuting every day on data. So it's like, okay, no big deal. Now it's like 50 because I don't use data at all because I'm home all the damn time.
Now I'm on Sprint, which means I also have access to the T-Mobile side of the network, correct?
Depends on your phone. If your phone is dual radio, yes.
All right. When I get a 5G phone, though, I should have it. It looks like Salzburg's a dead spot, but Louisville and New Albany and Jeffersonville look like they're pretty well covered.
I was looking at the 5G versus 4G, and the 765 chip has a 5G modem in it, which makes it better for 5G, but the 865 chip is faster. So
the 4G, I have plenty of decent speeds on my phone. But the next one I'm getting, yours always supports 5G. I'm assuming it's one of the earlier phones that actually supports it. The Pixel 5 XL is supposed to have 5G. Now that I think about it, they actually haven't announced an XL version. They talked about the 5 coming out, I'm assuming they're going to do an XL version like previous, but I guess I don't know that.
Well, I mean, they're probably going to roll out the regular one and then the XL one a couple months later, trying to hope that people buy both.
In previous years, they've rolled them out at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, usually mid-October is when the new Pixel phones have been coming out the last couple of years.
Well, I know
for a Pixel 5A, but they haven't even put out the 4A yet. So I was like, what the hell is that?
I don't know if 5A is going to come up for a while because that's like a little bit more the lower priced one.
Yeah, I have the 3A, and I love it. It's a great phone.
Okay, yeah, I have a 3XL. I liked it until the battery started fucking up, which could be partly my fault for spraying the phone with Lysol. But
hey guys, I'm going to tap out. It was good hanging out.
All right, catch you later.
All right, bye-bye.
And then there were three. I can count. Counting's not that hard.
Well, I don't have a whole lot else to say myself. Let's check the chat. Okay. Teammaker. Teammaker saying I won't spawn. Emotional support name is what I need. Sherry saying I'm such a pretty girl. Also, Teammaker says Grumpy Hackers is the name of the one that Charles sometimes has to hop off to join, as far as cast is concerned. Apparently, Alita has Cricket. It's much cheaper than AT&T. I'm not sure how good the service is, but with $90 for free accounts, unlimited data on Cricket, I guess that's not too bad if you have free accounts. But my Sprint cost, I'm pretty sure, is a little bit less than that, but I only have the one phone. So does anybody have anything else they want to announce or say before I stop the stream? Because apparently stopping the stream in one place, it will stop in both places now.
Nice. Stop the stream. Don't cross the stream.
Well, folks, I guess we'll catch people next week. And hopefully I figure out this YouTube thing a little bit better because they fucking changed the interface, and I hate it when they screw stuff. I'm an old curmudgeon. I just like things to stay the same. All right. Catch everybody next week.
Later.